everyone. Today I want to take the time to show you how I make my Dutch oven bread. It's a no kneading, no mess, easy and quick to make bread. Takes a little bit of time to let it rise because you have to let it rise twice. But other than that, it's really an easy one. You can make it anytime and it's really delicious. So all you need for that is bread flour. I usually get Sam's bread flour for that. Sea salt. You can use kosher salt, but I like to use sea salt because it just works better for me. 1 tablespoon of milk, 1 tablespoon of butter. If you don't have milk or butter, it's perfectly fine. Or if you cannot have milk or butter, then you can substitute the butter for the margarine, but just leave the milk out. That's perfectly fine. Don't substitute with soy milk or anything like that because that will not yield the same result. However, margarine or can't believe it's not butter or whatever that thing is, that will work fine. So you can definitely substitute the butter. Put in my Dutch oven bread sunflower seeds. I usually get the bag. It's not really expensive, but it just adds something to the bread and I love it. You can substitute these for pumpkin seeds if you want, or you can just leave them completely out. It's up to you. This is just a added feature. All right, so for this, I'm gonna need bread flour, sea salt, 1 tablespoon of milk, 1 tablespoon of butter, and then yeast. This is 7-gram pack of yeast. Make sure that it's the fast rising or fast acting yeast. If you use the other yeast, it's not going to be the same result. Or if you use homemade whatever, it's not going to be the same result. So make sure that it's fast acting or fast rising or quick rising or whatever you find, rapid rise. It just has to be fast acting. And this is 7 grams or 3 teaspoons. Let's get started. So first, we're going to put in the flour. 1 cup. Now, make sure that you don't squish in the flour in there. You just kind of use a knife to kind of level it out. So 1, 2 cups, 3 cups. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1 teaspoon of salt. Put that aside. Okay, so here I have 400 milliliters, 1 2/3 cup of warm water, and then to that we add 1 tablespoon of butter. Cut that into small pieces. That way it will get processed easier. Okay. Now, 1 tablespoon of milk. Slowly add that. two, three, four. Now, use some regular oil, not olive oil, not anything else, and put it on the sides of the bowl, and make sure that you grease the sides really good so that nothing sticks to the bowl when the dough rises. Now that's done, we cover the bowl and then we let it rise for like 40 minutes. Now after 40 minutes, this is what it looks like. It's fully risen, and this is when you take it out and work with it. Now slowly uncover it and flour it like this, and sift the flour and just kind of push it inward, push it, pull it inward like that, like this. And one more oil, and then cover it again. That's it. Let's sit for another 20 minutes. Okay, now while that is sitting to rise again, I'm gonna get the oven preheated and grease the Dutch oven with this. While the bread rises for the second time, we're gonna put this in the oven for 23 minutes at 405 degrees Fahrenheit. So when we grease it with oil, this is vegetable oil. You can use sunflower seed oil, grapeseed oil, but never, under no circumstances, butter, because it will burn, or olive oil. Vegetable oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower seed oil, all of those oils are perfectly fine, but no other oils. Okay, so you just oil this, and then we're gonna put this at 405 degrees and let the oven preheat with it for 23 minutes. So in a cold oven, I'm gonna put this in at 405 degrees, and then once it's hot, we will put the bread. Okay, beat 1 egg, but we need only the egg whites. So take the yolk out, however you do it. I do it this way. Might not be appealing, but it's the fastest way. Now we are going to remove this. Sprinkle some flour over it, just like that. I use the sifter for that. Okay. And then fold the dough in, just like this, slowly. You don't really need to knead the dough. It's more just to detach it from the bowl. So just fold it in a couple of times like that to give it a shape. Just like that. And then turn it around. There it is. Now we're gonna add some more vegetable oil to it, just a little bit, not much, just to kind of get the top covered. And set that aside because we have to remove the Dutch oven from the oven. Now remember, it's very hot, because it's been in the oven for 23 minutes at 405 degrees. So make sure you use the gloves and carefully take out the Dutch oven. Make sure that you don't forget that the Dutch oven is hot. So do not remove your gloves from the top, just because if you touch that, it will burn you. All right, add the dough into the Dutch oven just like that. And then we're gonna cut it a little bit on top. Use any scissors. I use the kitchen scissors and make just a tiny small incision there in the middle. And now with the egg white, just brush the egg white on the bread before we put it in the oven. That will result into a really good crust. Okay, now that's done. At the top and put in the oven at 405 Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius for 23 minutes in the oven. Yes. After 23 minutes pass, remove the top and put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes. Yes, this is what it looks like after 15 minutes. This is exactly what it should look like. Now this is what I'm talking about. Yep. My most favorite Dutch oven bread ever. Let's remove it from the Dutch oven, otherwise it will sweat in the Dutch oven. So just remove it and oh my god, yep, this is what I'm talking about. Yep. Best bread ever. You will love it. Trust me. I'm gonna use the top to flip it over. Yep, it's just like a cake, doesn't it? And now comes the crunchiness test. So let's cut it up and see what it sounds like. Or can we just give it another look, like from different angles? How beautiful is this bread? I really love it. Okay, I know. Let's give it the crunchiness test. So let's cut this and see what it sounds like. Oh yes, that's perfect. It's crunchy, it's soft on the inside, crunchy on the outside. It's beautiful and so yummy. There's no right way to eat this bread. Whatever way you eat it, it's the right way. I am going to eat mine with some tomatoes, fresh basil, olive oil, cracked pepper, and salt. That's it. But whatever you want to do, it's up to you. I hope you enjoy this bread as much as I do. I know my family loves it, so from my family to yours, with love.